Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about Rachel Reeves' plan to spend £39 billion on new social housing. What impact is that going to have on the property market? What impact is that going to have on the rental market as well? And is it likely that this will even happen? You see, the government promised lots of stuff, but are we likely to see the good results that they're promising us this time? Now, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're on the way to 44,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. By subscribing, you'll get all the latest property news, interest rate news, house price news, mortgage news, and much, much more. And let's get some more views on this video by smashing like, tickling like, doing something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really has helped the channel grow so far. So thank you to everybody that does that. So, the government spending review was yesterday, and Rachel Reeves talked about social housing for quite a fair chunk of her talk in Parliament. And the plan is to get it moving. Now, we've done some videos on this channel and we've talked about how bad the social housing situation is. In fact, there are some areas of London where if you're on a social housing waiting list, you could be waiting for 30 years. That's right, 30 years. I mean, a lot of people, unfortunately, will be dead by the time they actually get the property that they needed. And so the government has had this big, bold, ambitious plan to build 1.5 million properties. But the problem is it started quite slowly. I think we built 30,000 this year. And now that means we have a target of 300,000 a year. So just to catch up, we need to build 600,000 next year. That's not likely, is it? And so it's going to be something else that needs to happen. And this is what Rachel Reeves is saying that we need to do. I've got a new pen today for regular viewers as well. So that's big news if you watch the channel on a regular basis. So they're planning to spend 39 billion. The math is pretty easy because it's 10 years. So it's 3.9 billion a year on social housing. How much do we spend now? 2.5 billion. So this is a big jump up, which is positive. That's really good because we need this social housing to happen. So how is this going to happen? Well, one of the things that they've talked about doing is ending migrant hotels. Now, do I think that they're going to end migrant hotels totally? No, I don't think that they will. They're saying that within 4 years, they will end migrant hotels. Now, that is something that will get them some political points if they do it, because a lot of the country, including you guys that watch this and people that comment below, aren't happy with this bill and the fact that we have so many people in these migrant hotels. And so the goal is to build some social housing and move people across. Now, that doesn't necessarily help people in the UK that were already here that were waiting for this social housing, but it would reduce spending quite a lot. I think it's 4 million a day. You can tell me in the comments. Maybe that's totally off and it's a lot higher than that. Let me know in the comments, how much do we spend on migrant hotels per day? I think it's 4 million. But they're saying that we will build more social housing and we can move people across. And they're right, it is significantly cheaper to put someone in social housing than in a hotel. They're also looking to do stuff for people that do live in the UK. And so they're looking to spend 100 million on the homeless. Now, that's good. And there's a law that ends this year, which they're looking to get rid of, that is a crazy law to me. It's illegal to sleep rough or on the streets. I mean, that's ridiculous. If you don't have a home, where do you go? You can't just walk around all day and not sleep at all. But they're looking to change that law and support homeless people. That's good. But what you need to do is stop, like, for example, shelter. All they do is lobby the government and bash landlords, and they make landlords leave the market. In order to help homeless people, you need to build some shelters. That's what's going to start the process, and then help them with their mental health. Like, a lot of homeless people are homeless because they have mental health issues. I know that because I help with a charity called Thames Reach, who I think if you want to help or donate to a homeless charity, in my opinion, they're the best, because they go out and they do outreach. They go and find the homeless people, and I've done that myself, where we've gone out and we look for the homeless people, we let them know what shelters have got spaces, and they help them with mental health issues. That's the key, where it starts. And then they train them with skills, and they help them be plumbers, carpenters, and they've also got a deal with John Lewis. John Lewis have a deal where they take a certain amount of people back in to their business and train them and help them and that sort of stuff. That's what the government needs to do. Something like what Thames Reach do, I think would be a good start. What they're also doing is they're going to spend 950 million on local authorities. So that is particularly to be spent on housing refugees and moving people out of that accommodation. Now, that is smart. You might not like that, but it is definitely smarter to spend that money on getting people into properties. Now, what they've also said is that landlords that provide social housing can actually increase their rent at above inflation. Now, this will be interesting because we've got the Renters' Rights Bill going through Parliament at the moment, and that's for the private rental sector. And that looks to be quite strict on landlords increasing rent, and there's tribunals and all these sorts of issues that could crop up. But they're saying if you're a social housing landlord, you can put your rent up by CPI, whatever that is, so whatever the inflation data is for that year, plus 1% for the next 10 years. Now, the goal of that is to bring landlords out of the private rental sector into the social housing sector. And what will happen if that happens is the private rental sector will shrink even more. What that will do is push rents up even more. And even if they put some sort of rental cap on, what will happen is it will make it difficult for you to get a property. Like in Scotland, for example, they have rent caps, or did have rent caps during the pandemic, and that meant that a lot of landlords quit. Now, if you try and get a property in Edinburgh, there could be 200 people going for just a one-bedroom flat, which is insane and makes it really, really difficult. So what do I think about this social housing stuff? In summary, I think it's good. I think if we're increasing the money that we're going to spend on social housing, we have a housing crisis in the UK. That's positive. Do I think it's going to happen? I'm not sure. I think it's 50-50 whether this actually gets done. Haven't got enough builders. That's a problem. We haven't got enough people incentivized to build. The planning is a mess and a shambles at the moment as well. So this could take longer and be something that they might not even get resolved even if they try. It is a good start, though. The fact that they're looking to put more money into it. They're looking to also reduce the costs on the migrant hotels. That's potentially a good thing as well. And they're not just overlooking the British public that already live here. The fact that we're putting 100 million into helping homeless people is good if they do the right thing. Like, let's just not spend money on surveys and action plans. Let's actually build some shelters, rehabilitate the people, help them with their mental health, and get them back into the workforce and give them some self-worth. That would really help homelessness a lot more than just thinking about it or talking about it. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Do make sure you like all the videos, guys. That really helps with YouTube. And make sure you check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.